Hello there, what's going on? Emmett Ferguson here with a review of our Lanheim full body phone case. Now, this is a brand of phone cases that, of course, they got to keep up with lots of different phone updates constantly. So, specifically, this is for a Note 9, and I just want to share a Samsung Note 9. I just want to share that this is definitely a phone case that I would purchase again, a brand of phone case that I would purchase a brand just like other brands, OtterBox, and I don't know other brands, but OtterBox is the only other name I know of that creates some pretty good phone cases. And I want to say I like this phone case more than I like the OtterBoxes. And before we go into that, I just want to share why. Now, I will say the OtterBox is a fantastic phone case, but if you're someone like me I broke an OtterBox. That's how much I drop my phone. So if you're somebody like me who drops their phone a lot, and you're dropping on like concrete, or you're dropping it from like the top of your stairs and they fall down all your stairs. If you're like me, you need an OtterBox. But not only or you need a phone case that's very sturdy. OtterBox is a known phone case that's very sturdy, but I had to eventually upgrade to this full body one, and I found a great one in Lanheim. The reason why I keep talking about OtterBox is because it's like the de facto modern standard of a heavy duty phone case that protects your phone. But the reason why OtterBox did not work for me is I constantly had to buy new phone glass screen protectors. Now, I would drop my phone so many times that with this phone and previous phones, I'd go through like 2 or 3 screen covers at a time. So, not only did I break the OtterBox, but a heavy duty phone case, but I also broke the screen. Now, finally, I've decided to upgrade to a full body. And the reason why I was hesitant to do a full body is simply because makes it much clunkier. Now, Samsung Note 9, they're already known for making a very big phone, but this adds probably at least an extra half centimeter to a centimeter, maybe not quite a centimeter, somewhere between a half centimeter and a centimeter of width and length to your phone. So if you already have phone holders that barely fit your Samsung phone, then you might gonna need an upgrade there. But iPhones are smaller, so fortunately I had devices for like streaming and things like that hold my phone that are wider. But I did have devices that are much thinner that I had to, toss out because they wouldn't fit. So, if you suddenly upgrade from an iPhone that is known for being thin to a large Samsung, you might want that as a consideration. But, before getting into all those details, instead of getting continuously into all those details, let me share with you my experience with our Lanheim. So, first of all, as you could tell, this is a full body screen cover or phone cover, and where you open it, you basically open it right here, you split it, and I'll share that with you in a few moments. But each one is designed specifically for each phone that's released. So of course this is perfectly designed for the Samsung Note 9, where I can show where the camera sits in here. There's a little there's a camera section here. I don't know exactly what these two parts are. I think that one's a sensor, and on the Samsung, one is a sensor and one is the actual camera with the light. And then this is the fingerprint section. So it has openings for all the different pieces, as well as your buttons on the side. But what I find really interesting is how there's a spot for the speaker, and there's a spot up here for, I think this is like the Wi-Fi and connecting the internet. But there is no slot for specific sound, or I guess the sound comes out of here. This is where the speaker is. This is where you listen to the device. So I haven't noticed any difficulty as far as the listening goes. The sound quality is still great. This is where the microphone as well as some sound comes out of, I think. But anyway, they keep it waterproof as well, because there are slots. So you might stick your microphone in there, or headphone jack. They got a slot for your charger, which I'm constantly popping open and closing. And there is this piece right here. This is unique to the Samsung Note 9, but there's a device here that holds the little pen. So this is perfectly designed for the little pen. And as you can tell, right as I'm about to show you, You pop the pen out, you pop the pen right out, close it back up, or you pop the pen back in and you close it right back. And here we go. Let's see. Let's pop it back in. All right, and there we go. So as you could tell, a little bit of dust does penetrate into the edges, but you could definitely tell it doesn't get inside. So let me see. Let me pop this baby open for y'all to do the demo. And I'll also explain, it is a little bit of a challenge to get in and out, but no more or less than some of the other phone cases. Now, you do have to appreciate the fact that they made this pretty much like perfectly sealed, right? Like perfectly, like perfect shape of the phone and everything. So with every new update on a major phone update change, they also have to come up with something for that. But let's see how airtight this is for now. Let's see how dust-proof this is. With other devices that I've had, and you can either stick your finger into one of the corners that I showed, or there's actually like a space right here, a little gap that you can stick your nails. So I didn't open this properly, but that doesn't make a huge difference. So let me pop this off. And when you pop this off, what you'll find is that your phone sits into it. So I have this little thing right here, and we're gonna leave that to the side, but your phone sits perfect. And as you can see, my phone is in very undusty condition, so it's pretty airtight in there, as you'll probably be able to tell. And that's important because you don't want too much air. If you use your camera a lot, you don't want too much air affecting your camera. That can be really annoying, is if air would get stuck in there and you had to take it off every time just to get your camera cleared and unfogged. But fortunately, they designed this in a way that you don't have to worry about that. But it does take a little bit more time to get on and off. So right here, I've got a little, not too much on here. You can see it's still pretty clean. You want to make sure that your lens is clear before you put it in there, just like with any screen protector or anything. Fortunately, I'll go ahead and just rub this off on my pants, and I think that should be enough to get whatever dust is on here right now. But look, everything's pretty nice and well kept. And this is the Samsung Note 9 again. Fairly large phone already. Now, pretty smooth to put it on and off. All you got to do is, there's going to be two sections right here. Two sections, as you could tell. Two little sections. One of them needs to go in first. This is the top section, you can see, because these little panels right here. So you're just going to stick the top section in first. Pretty standard. Actually, so I need to put it the other way first. So this has another area that helps keep it protected. What am I doing? How's it not going in as easily? Here we go. You have to pop it in, put in a little bit of pressure to pop it in, but that's okay. And let's look at the inside here so far. So as you could tell, there's a camera here, and then there's some space in here. But what this does, what you're going to do is the space gets filled in once you stick this piece on. So all that space that you might be worried about, once you stick this on, it basically goes into the grooves and fills it just perfectly. So I'm actually going to keep this dot networking tool right here. And I want to make sure that I clean off my lens. So I'm just wiping on my pants. That's not the way you should do it, but I'm doing it anyway. I think these lenses and everything are made pretty sturdy nowadays so that it can withstand, you know, a little bit of friction from your pants or from your shorts. So anyway, all you're gonna do here is just pop this right on, and it pretty much goes on just right. Match it up with your camera, start snapping the pieces, and pretty straightforward, nice and easy, just goes on almost perfectly. I mean, it does go on perfectly. What am I saying? Not almost perfectly, but yeah, very straightforward. Everything locks in place just nicely, so that water can't get in and out. This is waterproof. And I'm not sure how they do it, but you know, there are little areas for the service to get through. I think this is a modern day antenna. It's just a hole. I think that's what it is. And the speakers, or whatever you call this either the microphone or the speaker or both. And basically, um, however they designed it, water has a hard time getting through because I have had this fall in water, and just real quickly, I wouldn't go swimming in the ocean with this, but you'll know that it's relatively safe. And here's the other great thing, that this is designed in a way where you can have a strap attached to it. So I've dropped this quite a few times, and one thing that you notice is this is a pretty hardy case. This is a hard plastic around the outside, or a hard like rubbery plastic. So rubbery plastic around the outside. And initially I was concerned about whether the touchscreen would stop working. So I can use my fingerprints. This screen covers, even though the screen cover covers the camera, I don't think it has a negative impact on my photos. And the touchscreen is absolutely fine. I did notice that I had to touch just a little bit harder when I first got this, but you get used to that pretty quickly. I haven't noticed any negative effects of the fact that there's a screen protector plus a body cover. But I really love these hard cases that also have a full body, which is new to me, because if you drop it, the hard case is going to help protect and absorb some of it, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about your screen cracking if something were to fall on it. Now, obviously, if I was to smash this with a hammer, right, the screen would probably crack, but for most drops and falls, this has a little bit of space. So there's a little bit of an indent. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of an indent here where if you were to just drop this totally flat onto a surface, it would be protected. That's great design right there. So a little bit of protection on the back and the front, and you've got a great screen protector. It's not just gonna scratch. I don't worry about the scratching. I don't worry about this when it falls. Even on concrete, I've dropped it quite a few times. Dropped it bouncing a couple of times, and this has done a great job of keeping it safe. And with that, this is the review of a full body case by Lanheim. And whether you decide to go with Lanheim or whatever, I just want to share that. Oh yeah, this lanyard piece too. I didn't know. I'm not one for having little attachments to put on my wrist. I don't usually like that, but I've grown to really like this because let's say I'm filming outside my car window, pretty rare effect, or if you're in like a convertible, right? If you're in a convertible and you want to like do some recording, you feel safe. If this isn't gonna fly out of your arm, I always use safety first and put this on my arm before I film. Or if I'm like trying to film something over a building or like outside of the car, or you're on a railing somewhere on the top floor of the Empire State Building, and you want to like film really close to the edge, and you don't want your phone to fall, then nice and safe little lanyard attachment. Not all devices have that, but they thought of this with this. So many reasons that this lanyard, this or whatever, this wrist strap can come in handy. And it is attached to a thin piece of, I believe this is plastic, like a thin piece of plastic here. Let's see. Yeah, it's a thin piece of plastic, so I don't know how much friction it needs to actually fly off. I wouldn't test that, but it's definitely helped me take some interesting photos without worrying about whether it's going to fly out of my hand, because you never know what can happen when you're like in a filming in a convertible, and then your hand sticks, you're sticking your hand outside the convertible, and you want to get that photo, but the wind's just so heavy. Never know when the wind could just suddenly pick up or whatever, and your phone just flies out of your hands. So I feel better when I'm recording with this. And overall, fantastic. Still gives a fantastic quality of video and photo, and you can keep your dot networking tool in here. So this is actually a networking thing where if you scan with an NFC, you can get my contact info. I only share that with certain people, of course. But with that, it's a great device. Or a great device cover. And yeah, I never feel restricted. This is really easy to pop on and off. Initially, I thought it would be annoying. I was like, oh, I gotta pop off a charger every time I want to charge it. But on one hand, yes, that's true. When I charge in my car, I need this. But when at home, I use a what's it called, a wireless charger. So I just popped this on. I will say, by the way, if you do use a wireless charger, this does create a little bit of space between your wireless charger. So you don't want if you have a wireless charger, make sure that it is a high quality one, because if you use a low quality one, it might not go through as easily. There's a little bit of space and air with this compared to if you were to set this on with a regular, just the device itself. But it does work. It does work. It does work through this. If you're wondering, the wireless charger does work through this. So that was a great thing that I discovered. And with that, thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.